Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about the remaining part of the anti-colonial movement. Civil rebellion. The Sepoy revolt and the subsequent civil rebellion in various parts of India had a deep-rooted connection with the rural mass. The first civil rebellion broke out in part of northwestern provinces and south. Similarly, the artisan and handicrafts persons were equally affected by the dethroning of rulers of many Indian states who were a major source of patronage. The dumping of British manufacture had ruined the Indian handicrafts and thrown thousands of weavers out of employment. Collective anger against the British took the form of the People's Revolt. Prominent fighter against the British next in, because already we've seen the through the annexation policy, the British government annexed some states, the rulers against the British government. That is the prominent fighters against the British. Next is suppression of rebellion. By the beginning of June 1857, the Delhi, Meerut, Rohilkhand, Agra, Allahabad and Banaras divisions of army had been restored to British control and placed under the martial law. Next, causes of failure. Causes of failure. Soon after Chiefs of Delhi, there was an attempt to seek support of the neighboring state. Beside few Indian states, there was general lack of enthusiasm among the Indian princes to participate in the rebellion. Only some people involved in the rebellion were left with either little or no source of arms and ammunition. The emerging English-educated middle class too did not support the rebellion. One of the other important reasons for the failure of the rebellion was the absence of central authority. The end of the rebellion, the brutality suppressed by the British army, the rebel leaders were defeated due to the lack of weapons, organization, discipline, and betrayal by their aides. Delhi was captured by the British troops in late 1857. Bahadur Shah was captured and transported to Burma. India becomes crown colony. The British were shocked by the events of 1857, so the Parliament adopted the Indian Government Act in November 1858. India was pronounced as one of the many crown colonies to be directly governed by the Parliament. So the responsibility was given to the member of cabinet designated as the Secretary of State for India. Changes in the administration. Queen Victoria proclaimed to the Indian people that the British would not interfere in the traditional institution and religious matters, and then also promised to be observed in the government services. Two significant changes were made to structure of the Indian army. For instance, the British stand away from the Rajputs, Brahmins and North Indian Muslims and look towards non-Hindu groups like the Gurkhas, Sikhs and Padans. British also exploited the caste, religion, linguistic and regional differences in the Indian society through what came to be known as the divide and rule policy. The peasant revolt underground. Next heading is peasant revolt underground. First point is the Indigo Revolt 1859 to 60. Because the European countries, the synthetic dyes were created, natural indigo dye was highly valued by clothmakers around the world. So many Europeans to make the fortune by became indigo planters in India. So some peasants were forced to grow the indigo crops. So the employed person grow in the indigo which was processed into dye planters factories. The dye was then exported to Europe. First then they cultivated a cash advance to help pay for the rent of the land and other costs. But the planters forced the peasants grow indigo rather than food crops. At the end of the season, the planters paid the cultivator low prices for their indigo. Moreover, small amount of peasant earned was not enough to pay back the cash advance with the interest, so would be forced to enter into the another contract to grow indigo. The peasants were never able to clear this debt. Debt were often passed from father or son. As the Indigo Revolt began in 1859, the rebellion began to strike as the peasants of village in Bengal's Nadia district refused to grow any more indigo. The movement quickly spread to the other indigo growing district of Bengal. The revolt then turned violent. The peasants, both Hindu Muslims, participated in the revolt, and women armed the pots and pans fought alongside men. Indian journalists of Calcutta wrote articles about the brutality of the planters. The play of Neil Darpan in 1860 means Mirror of the Indigo by Deenabandhu Mitra did much to draw the attention in India and Europe to the plight of the indigo growers. Deccan Riots in 1875, the heavy taxation ruined the agriculture, famine death increased. The first recorded incident of rioting against moneylenders in Deccan was in May 1875 in Suba, a village near Pune. Similar cases of riots were reported from close to 30 villages in Pune and Ahmednagar. So directly mostly at the Gujarat moneylenders. Under the British rule, peasants were forced to pay revenue directly to the government. The new law was created that was allowed to attach the mortgage land of the defaulters and auction it off. This resulted the transfer of lands from the cultivators to the non-cultivating classes. So the debt and unable to pay the outstanding amount, the person was forced to abandon cultivators.